Tap In with TT, and my special guest tapping in today is my girl Chloe. How you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
You look so beautiful.
Thank you. We got our jean.
I know we got our jean. It's like kind of like still summer, but it's dipping into that fall. So I figured we could throw on some little boots and we can mix and match and all of that good stuff.
All of that.
So how you feeling today?
I'm feeling blessed.
You've been busy.
Yes.
You got a movie out. You have an album. Mm-hmm. First, I want to talk about Trouble in Paradise.
Let's do it.
Because the title alone, girl, is something. And I heard you recorded that album in St. Lucia.
I did.
Oh, it's such a beautiful island, right?
Yes. You love it?
I love it. It's amazing.
See, everyone who goes there knows how much I love it because they'll feel it.
Yeah.
It's just the best.
It's something about just being on the blue waters, being in a calm place. Mm-hmm. You know, especially if you like someone that deals with like anxiety or getting like nervous all the time. Yeah, it's calming, right? It's soothing.
You feel serene, you feel at peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I did the album there. You know?
And people think like because you're famous or you're in the public's eye that you don't deal with like being shy or anxiety. But it's like, girl, it's real.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
And why I always hold my godmom's hand, I'm squeezing her hand so tight because my anxiety is so bad.
Yeah.
And like she's keeping me like
calm
and okay. Yeah. Anytime I'm not holding her hand, I'm like, okay, I'm not.
Yeah. Do you do breath techniques?
Not really, but maybe I should start.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
Like I know I used to have a habit of tapping a lot. Like tapping like this a lot, you know, like movement. One of my therapists taught me how to do the breathing techniques. Like that's breathe good. In, out, and it'll like bring some of the elevation down. Because I normally get a little nervous like before I'm about to speak at a speaking engagement. Like if I have to do like a crowd.
Yes.
I don't know what I want to say, but like I get this like rush of anxiety before I actually hit the stage. So I have to do like the breathing techniques. Or if I have like a big interview, and although I've been in media for over 20 years, I still get very nervous.
Yes. Me, right? It's my hands.
Yeah.
Like I'll fidget with little things. Yeah. So I have a stress ball that I keep in my bag.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to see me carrying it because I'm like, but I do that. And then also with my nails, I realized I love getting like the gel ridges. Yeah. So I just have something to fiddle with.
Yeah. Or I used to do this. I used to bite the side of my nails. Really? That was like a stress thing. I used to go, I know, it's crazy, right? I don't do much of that anymore. But my son, he has it too. He used to bite his nails all the way down to like the cuticles, like
sounds painful.
Yeah. So the point I was trying to make is being in calm places like that. It really does soothe your mind. It really does help with anxiety and mindfulness and calming. Because sometimes you need to do that. But you made an incredible album out there.
Thank you.
And you're talking that shit on that album, okay?
Thank you.
I was just talking to the guys behind the scenes about the song Rose. And I'm like, guys, do y'all know what that is? And someone looked and was like, and then my producer was like, yeah, it's a vibrator. I'm like, yeah, but one of the best ones out. Not just a vibrator, but the top of the line, platinum of all vibrators, okay? It's the Rolls Royce of vibrators, okay? But I be watching these TikTok videos, right? And they say, like, you shouldn't use it all the time because it's so good. The orgasm is, like, so strong that sometimes it messes with your intimacy with your partner.
Used to the robotic of it. And when it's a human touch, it will like desensitize you in a way. Yeah. So it's like a little mixture.
Yeah. But this album is like you're stepping into like your grown woman side. And I feel like you found kind of what makes you feel. What makes you feel like sexy and like you're okay with like stepping into that womanhood. And I that must have been a transition for you, obviously, being so public since you were so young.
Yes. To me, it has felt seamless because I'm just living and being, and I'm like, ooh, I want to show my curves here. Yeah. Ooh, I want to talk about what I like, what I don't like in the music. And I don't realize how jarring it has been for anyone looking on the outside.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm like, oh, it's me. I'm 26, you know?
Yeah.
But I do have some awareness, and I'm happy that people are catching up to my mind and my thoughts and are realizing, yeah, she's a grown woman.
Yeah.
Because there are people younger than me in this industry that, you know, don't get the same ridicule for dressing just like me or less or anything like that. So I'm happy that people are realizing.
But I also think it opens the door for new followers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because someone may have not followed your journey since you were, you know, a young girl making YouTube videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might have just caught them in the same age bracket as you,
Mm-hmm.
and they're identifying with what you're going through in terms of like stepping into that next phase of womanhood and what makes you like feel or what you like sexually and what you don't like, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that's trial and error too, right? Because we
Exactly.
think like, oh yeah, he's doing a good job. You know, like this feels good until we experience something else and we like,
yes,
that wasn't
true.
it, buddy.
It's true. And what I personally love about Rose is that there's so many songs in the universe about, you know, pleasing each other, loving each other, love making this and that, but it's for some reason it seems taboo to talk about loving and pleasing yourself.
Yeah.
Which should be normalized in a way. It's like self-love.
Yeah.
And you have to know what you like, what you don't like, so that you can teach someone to love you. You can also love someone else the right way.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's always important to talk about.
And do you know how many women go through being in relationships and not sexually pleased?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of women that are in these relationships and they're not sexually satisfied because they're embarrassed to talk about the things that please them, you know, or they're afraid to talk to their partner about, you know, what they like and what they don't like. It is such a difficult conversation to have. Can you imagine? I know married women who would tell me like, my husband doesn't please me, but I love him, but I don't have, you know, orgasms when I'm with him. I love him. Yeah, and that has to be incredibly frustrating to not have those conversations, you know?
That's true. Well, if they ever want to get a message across, just blast
Trouble in Paradise.
Rose.
Yes, and it's
in the house.
Exactly.
They'll get the hint. They will get the hint.
There's another song on there that I like too. Let me go to it. It's called it's two that I like. It's called Few. But I want to talk about Same Lingerie. Yes. Same Lingerie. Tell me the mindset when you wrote that.
So that was a record that I heard. And a majority of it, you know, it was a demo. And on the first listen, I absolutely fell in love with it because when you really listen to the lyrics, it's a truly heartbreaking song.
Yeah.
But yet it's still so sexy.
Yeah.
And I felt like it embodied our 20s as women. It's like, yes, we're heartbroken, but it's still a stance where we're still like loving ourselves, and there's those certain mementos. You always remember the first date dress. You remember what you wore here. You remember the piece of lingerie you had on that special night or whatever. And sometimes we have to get rid of those things, the framed photo. We have to get rid of those mementos so that we don't allow ourselves to stay locked in that relationship internally. So I really, when I was singing the song, you know, because I cut it all in St. Lucia, I was thinking about an ex that I hadn't really known I was as sad about not being with. And I tapped into that and it all came out vocally. And I love how you hear like the yearning and the soulfulness and even the cracks sometimes throughout the vocals. I feel like that's what makes you feel it even more. And I love how, you know, some things are very blunt within the lyrics, but the melody is so sweet and gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
It's a really cool juxtaposition.
Yeah. Outside of that relationship, have you suffered a heartbreak?
I have.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why I'm able to make the music that I am, you know, whether I have suffered a heartbreak of friendship loss, family, a lover, you know, life, career.
Yeah.
I've been heartbroken several times, and that's where I was when I created In Pieces.
Yeah.
But I have glued the pieces back together, and I'm not going to lie, one or two might fall off, and then I got to, okay, let's put it back on. But, you know, for this, I'm in a different mind frame, a mindset, and not saying that life got easier, but I'm getting over things quicker.
How so?
I'll allow myself to feel, but then I'm like, okay, next.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like the marination period.
Yeah.
It's like when you just continue to consume, and, you know, it's like there's always that cherry on top that kind of like, okay. Yeah. But my marination period has gotten shorter.
Yeah. Man, and you're only 26. Imagine when you get my age, just how quick and short you will get over things.
Yeah.
But, you know, just thinking about, like, my first heartbreak, you know, that was such a difficult time. And I was in my 20s. And, you know, it's hard because you're still trying to figure it out. And you think you know it all, right? And society tells us, especially Black women, that we need to have this or be this, you know, by the time we're 30, you know, if you're not married or whatever, you know, things are changing now, but it's like this incredible amount of pressure to have that forever love. And it's hard when you have that first heartbreak to try to put all those pieces together.
It is, but I'm so grateful that I still love just the same, as if it's never been broken at all.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I think we have to give ourselves the chance to find happiness.
Yeah.
Because if we shut ourselves off right before we're about to get it, then it's like you'll just have a life of regret and sadness, and that's no way to live.
Yeah.
Trust me, I would know. And I think you just get tired of being tired, and you're like, I want to live. I want to be happy. I want to be at peace. And that's how I feel when I'm in St. Lucia. Like, I don't really care about the superficial things. Like, when we were going through this record, you know, my manager and I, and really trying to get it out, I would hear certain news, certain things, and how it would affect me if I was in LA. And when I was at the beach looking at the water, I was like, okay, you know, everything will work out. It'll work out. And I noticed that it just made consuming the bad stuff it added some sugar to it.
Yeah, it made it a lot easier to digest. Yeah. So another one of the songs I want to talk about that's off the album is the one with you and Ty Dolla $ign.
Yes.
Might as well.
Might as well.
Break that down.
So I don't want to bring it to Zodiac, but I'm a Cancer. And the reason why I resonated with this song so much is when I'm hurt, I talk much, you know? And it's like a different side of me comes out when I'm really hurt. If I'm comfortable enough with you, you will see that. If not, then I will just keep it tucked internally. But I really like how it's saying, I wish you were just honest with me. Like, we could have done this together. No, not really. I'm very territorial. I would not be in a polygamous relationship. But it's like, you could have come to me about this. You could have been honest. We could have gone through this together. Like, we had big life plans. We had things that we were going to go through together. But it's like, you know what? You want to take advantage of that. I might as well go hit somebody else up.
Yeah.
I might as well fly somebody out, like you flying somebody out.
Yeah.
I might as well do this.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Trouble in Paradise's version of Cheat Back.
Yeah.
Because Cheat Back was on In Pieces, and, you know, was saying, you know, I wish I could cheat back. I wish I could do this, do that.
It kind of gave me that Keisha Cole,
I might as well have.
Yes. Cheated on you. But for whatever reason, I don't understand why men, when they cheat, they don't think about if the tables were turned or if you would actually ever do it. It's like they don't, it's like so weird. Like, do you think that I cannot do the same thing?
Yeah, I think, not that I know everything and I'm still learning and growing and when it comes to relationships, but women are smarter. We have intuition. So a lot of men, they might think
they're getting away.
Yeah, they're getting away with stuff, but we just won't say anything about it.
And they also have to understand, by the time we bring it to you, we done did a whole FBI investigation.
Not only an FBI investigation, but if we choose to stay, best believe someone else is on lock.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's it.
It's
Let it
true.
marinate.
It's true. And the thing is, I feel like men, not that I'm giving men a pass or anything like that, but they're not as emotionally in tune as women. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it doesn't mean that much to them when they are with another person sexually. But I feel like if you truly love somebody, you would care enough about how they would feel if they found out about this, you know? Instead of being so careless in the moment and getting lost and caught up in that.
And not controlling your impulse.
Yes.
And I feel like men who are multiple cheaters or who cheat on women, there's something broken within that they need to heal, that they haven't healed because they keep going back to the same behaviors, trying to fulfill some type of void that they're missing.
True that.
Or
they just
like
might not want to settle down yet.
And that's okay too.
Just be honest about it. Give us as women
the choice.
Yes. Just be upfront. Like, listen, I got this and this. I'm seeing all these women over here. I like you. Right. I'm not going to be that serious with you, but I like you. And if your game is that player, the girl will be like, okay, let's do it then.
Yeah.
Give us the choice.
But I don't think they believe us when we say that. Mm-hmm. So they lie because they don't believe it. Yeah. Like, I would rather you say, hey, I made a mistake. I did this. I did that. Own it. Stay in it. But don't stay stuck in it. Because I think you can get past the cheating part.
I don't know if I could. I'm talking about before it gets there.
Yeah.
Like, just be real with me before it gets there.
Yeah.
And I will respect you so much more.
Yeah. Yeah. Because once the respect is gone
and the trust is gone,
it's very hard to get it back.
You can't rebuild it back. You're going to start thinking, okay, what are they doing here with this person? And that.
Well, I think you can rebuild it back, but it would be a different type of relationship. You know what I mean? You can rebuild it back, but it will require a lot of work and a lot of healing in the process.
To break down that wall
again. To break it down, because automatically you're going to put a wall up. It's just like in any relationship that someone violates you, whether it's a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, husband wife, friend.
You can never be in it the same.
You can never be in it the same, because once that violation happens, it takes something away. You know, the innocence of what that relationship was.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like a child that touched the fire and then it got burned.
They still have the scar.
Yeah. It can heal,
but you'll still see it.
But now that child sees fire, they're going to know it's hot.
Or if, say it's too hot in the room, they're going to get PTSD from
it. Right.
So at that point, you can't blame how someone's emotions are when it comes to situations like that.
Yeah.
So. But at the same time, I feel if you say you have forgiven someone for cheating on you and they have grown from it, you can't keep pushing it in their face if you say you forgave them for it.
And they've done the work.
Exactly. And you continue to be in a relationship. At that point, if you can't keep that's my thing.
Yeah. Trouble in Paradise, where did that name come from? Because I think I know what it means, but I want to hear it from you.
Riding my troubles away in paradise.
Oh.
And it's kind of like the sweet and sour.
Okay.
It's like I have the paradise and I also have the trouble. Or it could be I am the trouble in your paradise or you are the trouble in mine. So there's multiple little different meanings to it.
Yeah. I took it like, when I listened to it, it's like sometimes people think that, well, even in relationships in the beginning, it's always good, right? It's like this oh my gosh, it's blitzful. It's new. It feels good. And then a few years, you get into the relationship. Then here comes the storm in the paradise.
Yes.
Right. Here comes like something. That tests it. And it's not always paradise. It is some trouble in it.
Yeah.
You know. So I really think the name of the album is really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you have a movie.
Yes, the limited series.
Yes. God, it has such a great actors in it.
Yes.
Like you got Kevin Hart, Taraji P. Henson. Who else are we? Don Cheadle is in there as well. Terrence Howard. Like insane.
Samuel
Jackson. What was the set like shooting that movie?
It was so inspiring.
Yeah.
I still pinch myself.
Yeah.
Knowing that I got to be a part of something that cool and groundbreaking.
Yeah.
When we were at the premiere and they screened the first 2 episodes, watching it in its entirety like that, I was like, wow, this is such a pivotal moment for us in the artistic space as a culture. Seeing all of these incredible Black forces come together to create something to retell a historic moment that has happened.
Because it's a true,
Yes.
1970 when Muhammad Ali had that great moment, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And a bunch of gangsters came together to celebrate. Yeah. And they got robbed.
Yeah. And you got to watch it to see how it plays out. So I'm always curious to know, how did you manage your anxiety? How do you manage your anxiety as an actress? And acting is difficult because it's not like recording where you're in the booth. You can make as many mistakes as you want. I mean, on set you can too, but it's like you have such a amount of time you can do in the recording studio versus on an acting set, right?
Yes.
How do you like turn it on when you're in all these people are around and like that has to be nerve-wracking.
To be honest, I still get nervous before coming in front of any camera, but when it comes to acting, my anxiety is a little less.
Really?
I'll still be nervous, especially when it comes to like the big players that I got to be in the room with, but it's knowing that you have the freedom to be self and the freedom to get lost in that character and not be calculated. Each take feels different, not being really rehearsed or robotic.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm appreciating it more as I get older. Yeah. Because before I was a little scared anytime I would have to act because it's not a space that I felt as comfortable in as doing music. But now it's like I'm slowly spreading my wings in that area.
Do you like it more than music?
No. Music is always my first love. However, I'm really enjoying it. Yeah. So it's my second love.
Yeah. How was it working with Russell Crowe on that? Was it The Exorcism?
Yes.
How was that? Was it spooky on set? Like.
So the crazy thing is we shot it 5 years ago, pre-pandemic, and it was originally called Georgetown Project. I'm the biggest scaredy cat there is. I don't like being in the dark. I hate it. I always have a little light on. Wow. All of that. I'm very, very, very scared. So it's funny how I landed doing that film. Russell Crowe was so warm and kind to me, like a giant teddy bear, to be honest. And I just remember, I think that was the real first introduction to being in a space with an iconic actor. And even watching Gladiator on the plane a couple weeks ago, I was like, and seeing him in every film that he's been in.
He's incredible, right?
Yes.
He's an incredible actor.
Yes. So that was, even though it was scary material, and I still haven't watched the film yet. Even when I did ADR, I asked them to turn the screen off.
Really?
That's how scared I am.
Wow.
So it's funny, I continue to do, now I like thrillers and murder mysteries. That I love. If it's not supernatural horror, I love it. Yeah. So it's funny how I continue to find myself in that space.
Yeah. because I was just watching like The Deliverance on Netflix, and I'm just like, and then, I know you were coming in, and I was just like, how do people like, and The Deliverance was like based on a real story.
Oh, yes. I heard they had a real pastor on set.
Yes. So I'm just like, how do people like get in that zone and like have to play in that world, because psychologically you have to dive into that character, and then you have to kind of get yourself out of that character, like come down from,
That's the scary thing. But what I kind of appreciate with me is that, because I'm not a method actor, I find acting to be a little bit therapeutic, because you get to unlock emotions that you've pent up inside. And it'll just kind of come out of nowhere, and you have an outlet somewhere to put it. But I hope I won't ever become too overly consumed with getting myself lost to the point where I can't find myself again. And if I feel like I'm going to be, that's a possibility of that, I probably won't take the role. Because I feel like, I'm a huge advocate of mental health. And a lot of incredible actors have lost their lives just from that. From dedicating themselves to the craft so much.
It can take a toll on you mentally. How has things been as a new auntie?
Amazing. I love my baby boy Halo.
Are you getting baby fever?
For him. Listen, I know personally I am not ready to be a mother. I still want to be selfish. I don't want to have to go somewhere and constantly think about, I got the baby at home.
You could give him back.
Yes, so that's my sister. She's amazing at that. Like phenomenal. She's such a great mom, and I'm so proud of her, because she is balancing her career so well, even as being a mom.
As her big sister, do you ever feel like you got to be mama bear when people criticize?
All the time. I've been mama bear since we were 4 and 2.
Because I can imagine it's a lot. You just want to share your baby to the world, and everybody always has something to say, whether it's how he holds the baby or the haircut or this or that. It's got to be exhausting.
Yeah, that's their kid, you know? So I'm his auntie, and I just want to make him happy and laugh, so.
I love that. What's the one thing that you spoil that you do, and she's like, don't do too much of that? Because I remember, like, when I had my son, I used to tell myself, stop holding him all the time. He's going to get used to that. Like, put him in the swing.
To be honest, okay, I know my sister. She'll give nonverbals, like when she wants her baby boy back. Like, I can tell from like her look on her face, because I will just like be obsessed with him. And she loves him to death, so I could just tell sometimes. But honestly, she's really lenient with me and him, because she'll tell me all the time, she's like, I wonder if he senses how much you protect me, and that's why he loves you so much. Like, that's my little man.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. So what's next for you? You've got the acting down. You have an amazing album that's out right now. You just did a few covers for magazines. You look, oh my God, you look so amazing.
Thank you.
So I'm like, what else that you want to accomplish?
Wherever God wants me to go, that is where I will go. I hope I can continue to share my gift of music and acting, and I would love to be given the platform to continue to do that, because that's what I love to do. And
are you going on tour with this album?
When the timing is right. With the last project, I went on tour immediately, like the week after it dropped, and with all of the hoopla surrounding that album, to know that we sold out 2 legs of that tour really means so much to me. And I love my fans, and I love performing. So when the timing is right. But, touring, you lose money from touring sometimes. So.
Because people don't understand it takes up so much of your time.
Especially when you're, like, investing in it yourself. So.
But because of this, the quality, I mean, the other album was good too, but I just can't wait to see, selfishly, how you creatively bring Trouble in Paradise creatively to the stage.
Me too. I can't wait to be given the chance and the platform. That's my favorite place to be, on stage.
And are you very intricate in like how the setting, the stage plotting, the background, all of that good stuff?
Absolutely. I'm really hands-on, and I'm also a sponge, and I like collaborating a lot. And I'm also learning in the process of collaborating that I have to trust my gut and intuition a little bit more, because a lot of the things that I second guess within myself, not that there's a right or wrong way, but it's 7 times out of 10, it's usually the better way.
Yeah.
And you don't really realize how much you doubt your inner voice until you're with people who you really look up to, and they're saying some of the things that you're thinking internally, and it's like, wait, well, maybe I'm on the right path. Maybe, what I'm feeling is right.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate you so much for stopping by today. Everybody, her album, Trouble in Paradise, is out now. You guys can stream it on all streaming platforms. And her new series, when does it hit?
It's out as of yesterday.
Oh, as of yesterday. It's on Peacock, right? Yes. So it's on Peacock. It's called The $1 Million Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist.
Yes, you got it.
So make sure you guys check out the series on Peacock. Streaming, download the app and stream it, okay? It's Tap In with TT. It's Chloe Bailey, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
That was a great conversation.
Yeah, it was.